Welcome to the Style Sports Hub, presented by Van Ganaway Chevrolet.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Sports Hub podcast presented by Van Ganaway Chevrolet. I'm your host, Kyle Coppola. Thanks for joining us today. Of course, we want to thank our sponsors that make it possible: Lake Center Home Care, Lake Sumter State College, Lasterware, and Auto Owners Insurance. And you can listen to this podcast on our Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, YouTube, and our other streaming sites as well. We're going to have a special guest on our program today, as a couple of special guests, actually. It's the Mount Dora Christian Academy Conference Championship winning football team, and I'm joined by Owen Draves. Owen, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Awesome. Owen plays on the offensive line for the Mount Dora Christian Academy. You had a tremendous year, capped off, of course, by, we have our trophy right here, the 5A champion and the Sunshine State Athletic Conference. Talk about the season. I mean, from when you first started off all the way through, I mean, what a season you guys had.
Yeah, I mean, beginning of the season, a couple close losses, face adversity, a couple guys got hurt, and various other things. But, we just wanted to keep pushing, prove everybody wrong, and just do the best that we can do with, what we had. And thankful to God that we were able to come out, champions, and it just feels great to be here right now.
Owen's actually going to play Division I football. You're going to be playing for the Army Black Knights next year,
sir.
Which is really exciting. Talk about that. That's exciting.
Oh, I'm super pumped. I was able to go to the Army-Navy game I believe this past weekend, and it's just the atmosphere. It's like unlike anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. The coaches, the brotherhood, it just feels like home to me. Feels like Mount Dora Christian Academy, actually.
That's awesome.
It's just, I love it.
And your Black Knights were able to win that game 17-11.
Yes, sir.
So really, really cool things up there. That's Gillette Stadium up there. That's
Yes, sir.
my neck of the woods up in Massachusetts that the game was played at this weekend. A lot of cool things going on there. But you were a senior this year. You had a lot of leadership on the team. You led these boys through thick and thin.
Yes,
I was
sir.
able to witness that on the sideline in a couple games. Talk about your leadership and what you brought to the team.
We got a couple new faces this year, younger guys, and, sometimes they may not know what to do or, even in plays, where to go and stuff like that. So it's really just helping them, hey, like, you're going to mess up. You just got to keep going, keep pushing, trying your best. Like, you'll be there.
A lot of people don't know, but that championship game was extremely hot. You guys played in the afternoon on a Saturday at 2 o'clock. So halfway through that game, I look over on the sideline. You guys are dogging it over there. You guys are dead tired. How did you guys pull that out?
A lot of ice. I had like leggings on and some like long socks, I think. So I just stripped down to just my girdle, took everything off, no accessories, no gloves, just kind of just caught my breath in there, ice, cold towels on the neck, just trying to calm the body down.
How long has it been since you played in an afternoon football game? Well, quite a while, I would imagine.
Yeah, a very long time. Yes, sir.
Pop Warner days, maybe? I don't even know.
Yeah, seriously. A while ago.
A while ago for you, but you were able to come out as the 5A champions. What did that mean to go out as a champion for you?
It meant everything to me. Went there my sophomore year, my junior year, and fell just short. But, I finally got it my senior year, and I just couldn't be happier to go out on top.
Coach Tackett came on board this year. Sometimes it's difficult to transition to a first-year head coach coming back. I mean, he's been with the program before, but Coach Tackett comes on and kind of a little bit of a change for you this year. How did that end up this year? Obviously the championship, but how was that dynamic?
I think it was good. That's my guy. Love him to death. It's just he's a great coach, but I feel like his bond with the players is even greater, and that's what helped us to stay together, when times got tough, and really just keep pushing through to do the best we could.
You talk about the togetherness, and you mentioned your family before the broadcast and how much they mean to you. You gave your mom one of the biggest hugs I think I've ever seen before the championship game. You come out. Why do they mean so much to you?
They just really taught me a lot as a kid. They taught me how to love God and just work hard at anything I do. And so I'll always just cherish that and love them for that. They do mean a lot to me. Between taking me to practice, taking me to workouts, they just do a lot for me. So I'm very appreciative of them.
So you had a couple of offers, obviously, at school as well. You ended up settling on Army. How did that whole thing develop, and what other offers you've had, and what made you choose the Army?
Yeah, I did have a couple other offers. Coach Monken called me one day, told me I got the offer, and just really meant everything to me. I started researching the academy. I got up there for an unofficial visit and just fell in love with it. It's just like you go there and like you can only say so much, but until you go there, you don't truly know. You know what I mean? And it's just like I loved it there. First time going up there, I just knew it was home.
Why was it home for you? What was it about the academy itself?
Like I said earlier, it's a lot like MDCA, where it's like, you have that strong brotherhood that's going to help push you to be the best person and player that you can be. And, that's just really what I want to do.
Yeah, hopefully we're able to see Owen out there next year.
Yes, sir.
I think it's in Landover next year.
Yes, sir.
In Maryland. So looking forward. That's where the Commanders play.
Yes,
so
sir.
Looking forward to great things. What's your advice to young kids coming through the Mount Dora Christian Academy program?
I would just say, you're going to face adversity at times. You're going to get, tough times, and no matter what, you just got to put your faith in God and just keep pushing forward. When
you get to Army, what are you looking to do? What are you looking to study when you get there?
Not entirely sure yet. I've kind of narrowed it down to a couple things, but just keeping my options open, just finding what will work best for me.
What is your favorite memory about this season?
Oh, I would say we had a couple morning practices before school, and those were just really fun to, get out there. It's early, but, everybody just showed up with a smile, so it's just good to see those guys get working that early in the morning. It's fun.
Just the camaraderie between the teammates
and
everything like that. It's always fun. Oh, and thank you so much for coming on the
sir.
program. We appreciate you coming on, and congratulations on your championship. All right, coming up next, we're going to be talking with Xavier Dalton. He was another key contributor in that 5A championship for Mount Dora Christian Academy. We'll have that coming up next on the Sports Hub. Are you in need of a new car or truck? Then zoom into Van Genaway Chevrolet, a company that has always been driven by superior customer service. Van Genaway Chevrolet is your hometown good folk Chevrolet dealer. The dealership has helped generations of Lake County families find the perfect car, truck, or SUV. After 37 years and thousands of Chevrolets sold, Van Genaway has learned a lot about their customers. They don't want to be pressured, and they don't need a gimmick or giveaway. They just want fair prices and a great overall car buying experience. If you've had bad experiences purchasing automobiles elsewhere, then switch gears and try Van Genaway Chevrolet. Chances are you'll end up being a part of the ever-growing family of satisfied and loyal customers. Check out Van Genaway Chevrolet at vgchevy.com or call them today at 352-343-2400. Van Genaway Chevrolet. Find new roads. All right, everybody, we are back here on the Sports Hub podcast presented by Van Genaway Chevrolet. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle Coppola. Right now, we're sitting with Xavier Dalton. Xavier, you were a big part of that 5A championship winning team from Mount Dora Christian Academy on the defensive side of the ball. You had a fumble recovery in that game, which we'll talk about here in a second. I feel like when you were able to recover that fumble, it changed the whole game. Can you talk about that moment?
Well, it was just like a surreal moment. For myself, I couldn't believe it because, I knew I had it in me the whole time. And I was like, oh, this is the game. This is the game where I lay it all out on the line and do things that I've been working on for the past 4 years I've been at MDCA. And I led up to this moment where I'm able to make a big impact on the game early in the game to give us the energy to win it out.
Yeah, and at that point, it was still kind of a close game. And then the fumble happens. Who poked that fumble free? Was it you or
it was me?
It was you. So you poked it free, and you ended up getting on top of it. What was that like as you were running down the field? I mean,
I felt like it was like an out of body experience. I felt like I could see myself in the touchdown even before I could grab the ball.
Have you ever had a fumble recovery like that all the way down for a touchdown before?
No, sir. That was my second fumble recovery, but my first fumble recovery for a touchdown. Sir.
That was awesome to watch you go all the way down there, and it was a hot game. I mean, we mentioned that we were talking to Owen Draves before this, and man, was it hot!
It was. I had to take off a couple layers. That's how hot it was.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was warm. They played at like 2:00 in the afternoon during this 5A championship game. We had Megan Ziegelhofer. I think she was coming over, icing you down at some points. What did it mean, though, to get through that game and get that championship. You went out as a champion as a senior. That must have felt real good for you.
Yes, sir. Well, I think we always been champions. We always had it in us. So just this is like a confidence boost for the next coming up years for all our other younger kids. So like it was like a breakthrough for us, sir.
Yeah,
it was
definitely.
a breakthrough.
Yeah, because you guys have been in the championship game the last like 2 or 3 years, I believe.
Yes,
You just haven't been able to pull it off. And then Tackett comes in this year, Coach Tackett, and he's able to develop a system for you guys. And it feels like midway through the season, this team really took off, and you were able to buy into that system. What did Coach Tackett mean to you this year?
Coach Tackett meant probably like, this is like a lot, but probably like the world to me. Like he's the one who got me here. He's the one who's going to keep getting me farther and farther down the road, and all of us. So we just had to buy in and listen to what he said, and full head. If he told me to run through a wall, I'll do it.
That's awesome. Yeah, Tackett really brought a ton to the team this year, and we thank him for everything he did for the Mount Dora Christian Academy program and what he's going to continue to do here for the program. You had 61 tackles this year. You had 35 solo tackles as well, and you led the team in total sacks with, I believe it was like 4.5 sacks this year. What made you so dominant on the defensive side of the ball, and why did you choose defense instead of offense? I feel like you're an athletic guy, right?
Sir.
But you like the defensive side of the ball. He loved it.
I love hitting quarterbacks. That's what I love hitting quarterback. But no, I didn't even know that was my stat line. Honestly, I would just go out there and do my thing, not even worried about stat lines. If I can even take a hit from one of my teammates to get the quarterback instead of me, then I'll do it. It was just me going out there being me, sir.
What was your favorite memory this year that you had on the football field?
Probably that that recovery touchdown. I could hear my mom just screaming down the line, just running with me. So yeah, that's probably my favorite memory.
Yeah, we could hear her from the stands. So, yeah, she's loud and proud, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. She was all about it, and you just had a terrific year there, a tremendous year. Going forward as well, what do you want to do after school? I mean, you're a senior, obviously. You have anything lined up after school?
Yes, sir. I have a couple interesting offers, sir. So I'm working on that. But yeah,
Awesome.
I think football is going to be my main goal, but like whatever God has for me. So whatever, that's my plan has to line up with His plan.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, you're 6'4".
Yes, sir.
you look like you can level some kids out
Yes,
there for sure. And whichever program takes a chance on you, they're going to get a really good athlete. So
Thanks, sir.
I guess some really good things going on. Can you talk enough about this Mount Dora Christian Academy program though, and what it has meant to you to attend this program?
Well, I attended this program for 4 years. It's just like been like a family. Like you're never going to get this nowhere else. And I know that's cliche to say, but like I honestly been here, and I've been to other programs before where it's just like it's a different atmosphere, especially when you walk through those doors. It's like you're gonna be at home, and you're gonna be safe no matter what. So yeah, just an overall safe feeling from
Just a good experience, and that's what I feel like a lot of people get out of the Mount Dora Christian Academy program when they come through. They just feel really the love that the whole program can bring to you. One final question I have for you: what is your advice to younger kids coming through the program right now?
coming to MDCA.
Yeah, either young kids that are looking to get into the position or trying to get offers like you are. I mean, you were young at one point,
Yes,
you know. What's your advice to these young kids out there?
Well, just stay focused and don't worry about anybody else. Like, you're different from everybody else. God made you incredibly the way you are. So, like, just don't compare yourself to anybody else. Don't look at what other people have. Just go out there and do you, and it will prevail. You will get the success and the recognition that you will need. First shall be last, and last shall be first. Yes, sir.
Amazing words from Xavier Dalton right there. You're a senior. You have so many more years ahead of you, but those are very wise words. So thank you so much for coming on. Congratulations on the 5A championship trophy. That's awesome for you guys. And this guy was one of the MVPs for sure during the game. So thank you again for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Coming up next, we're going to be talking to Connor Calfy. Coming up, he had another huge impact on the game. Hey everyone, we are back here on the Sports Hub podcast presented by Van Ganaway Chevrolet. I'm your host, Kyle Coppola. Thanks for joining us. We are joined now by Connor Calfy. Connor, welcome to the program. Thank you for coming on.
It's nice to be here.
Absolutely.
Come on, talk about the season.
Yeah, Connor was a huge impact on that championship winning game. Of course, you guys ended up winning that game. We got the trophy right here, the 5A championship trophy that you were able to win. Huge part of that game was your play. I mean, you were on the defensive side of the ball. You did an excellent job, and sometimes on the offensive side of the ball. But what were you able to do in that game to really push Mount Dora Christian Academy through? Because I feel like you had such an impact on the defense. You were like in every play that I saw.
I really just like to fly to the ball. You know, I'm not the biggest guy. I'm not the strongest guy, but I like to get to the ball. That's pretty much my only job. Our coaches, Coach Aline, Coach Lou, Coach Harrison, they had a really good defensive game plan worked up that really just funneled the ball right to me every play, and I just was glad that I was able to make the play.
Yeah, you made plenty of plays this year. You led the team actually in total tackles with 81 total tackles on the season. You play with a ton of heart out there. Why do you love the defensive side of the ball so much?
Well, I think it just comes from my dad. My dad played linebacker in high school, and he always taught me that if there's two things that you can control, it's your attitude and your effort. And I just like to play every single game, 100% going after the ball every single play. Because if you take one play off, that could be a touchdown that costs your team. So if you give it 100% every play, then you know that you're doing your job, and then you got to trust in the other 10 guys on the field to do their job.
Yeah, and trust you did, because Xavier Dalton, he was able to get a fumble recovery for a touchdown in that championship game that really propelled you guys in that championship football game. You know, there was a lot of different plays. Taylor Klein had a couple of touchdowns in that game that really helped you guys out. Can you talk about Taylor Klein? He's not here today, but what a player.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the best players I've seen. I'm glad that I was able to take the field with him. He's a great leader. He's one of those guys that, like, you can count him every day. He will be there. He'll encourage people. He'll lift people up, and you give him the ball, he's going to make a play. He did it on the offense and defensive side. He was just reliable all season that you could count on him to make something happen.
You guys battled through injuries all season long as well. I mean, you started the season off. You didn't win that game against Mount Dora High School. I know that's a rivalry game. You always like to win that game. But I think you lost 13-7. But you were able to win a couple of key games throughout the season, and eventually you made the playoffs and made a run in the playoffs. Midway through the season, I believe your quarterback ended up going down with some type of an injury, and he comes back. Seth Roach, I believe it is.
Yes.
Nate
Roach. Nate Roach.
Nate Roach, because they're twins on the football field. What's it like to play with twins, actually?
The first week that they showed up during the summer, I'm going to be honest, I probably messed up their names at least 3 or 4 times, and then I figured out one of them's got a different haircut than the other one, and it was pretty easy. They're really genuine guys. They showed up. They added a lot to the program, especially when we needed them. Even when they were hurt, we had other guys step in and helped a lot. And then when they came back, it just strengthened our play that much. Yeah,
Nate ended up having an injury. I forget what his injury was. I believe it was to his a collarbone or something like that. But he battled through that injury, came back and was able to lead you guys. He's a younger player, but I feel like he has a ton of heart and leadership, just like you. Did he get that from you at all?
I think he brought that a lot with him. He's a really hardworking guy. He knows what he wants, and when he sees that we can achieve this goal, he's going to push the rest of the team there. And I just really think that, I'd say a lot of guys on the team this year just had that mindset. You know, there was a handful of us that had been 3 years prior to that game, and we wanted it more than anything. And so I think throughout the whole season there was just a sense of, we're going to get this done, and if you don't want to get it done, get out of here.
The final moments of that game too, I noticed you on the sideline. You were sort of deep in thought. Were you thinking about all of the kids that came before you and just the thoughts of winning that right there? I mean, that must have been an incredible feeling for you.
Oh yeah, it was great. There's been a lot of guys, really good football players that have come through, and we just haven't been able to get it done. So when we won, I was just thinking about all the guys that I wish could have been there with us, but I'm glad that we were able to finally bring it back home to Mount Dora.
Yeah, you were able to win it for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is a huge accomplishment for Mount Dora Christian Academy. You and Liberty Christian Prep, actually, who's an 8-man football program, you're the only 2 football teams in our county that won championships. So that's a huge accomplishment for you guys to go out as champions. You've had a lot of memories all over the years that you played football, and you're actually going to be attending representing Montana. Currently not for football, but we'd love to see you walk on the team because they're going to be in the FCS championship game coming up this weekend. I believe this is a weekend or next 2 weekends.
A couple weekends.
I think a couple weekends from now. But you're going to be going for biology, I believe, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Wildlife biology. They got a really good program up there. A lot of cool stuff that they got going on. I just didn't want to miss out.
Yeah, definitely. It would be cool to see you play football, but if this is the last time we saw you on the football field, I mean, what a way to go out. What are some of your favorite memories that you've had playing for Mount Dora Christian Academy?
Oh, there's a lot. I'd say like favorite games that we played in. My freshman year versus Bradenton Christian, I think the final score, we ended up winning like 56-53. Just a total offensive shootout. They had a great quarterback that was in like 8th grade. He threw for like 4 touchdowns that game. It's been a wild ride. The camping trips that we've had, I think 8th grade year, we went on a team camping trip, and I think it downpoured the entire time we were there. Tents were flooded. A couple guys I think saw a bear at one point that broke into their tent or something like that. It's been a lot of fun stuff. And then MDCA is it's going to always have a place in my heart because it's just been a great environment to play in. We got a lot of young guys that really bring the energy every day, and I just kind of loved it there.
Yeah, a lot of guys, and that's what I think we've seen. We talked to Owen before, Owen Draves, who's committed to Army. Really, really exciting to play with a guy like that, I'm sure. And then, of course, Xavier Dalton has a couple of offers as well. Talk about the teammates that you've had over the years. I mean, I feel like this team not that the other teams weren't a collaborative effort because they got to the championship game, but what made this team so special that you went out as champions this year?
I think it was just the culmination of a few key guys coming in, transferring in that we needed help, and then just the effort that everyone put in because they knew that the standard had been set. We wanted to win a championship. Yeah. That was our goal. And from last spring, I mean, we finished spring. I think we lost that game, but we had maybe 10 guys that had played football before, and the other ones had either just started playing football or they just transferred into our system. So we had a really raw team, and I think over the summer, the coaches, they put in a lot of work, and they just kind of refined us, and then we got going during the season. I think by the end, we were a pretty well-oiled machine, and I think just the effort put in by the coaches, the players, our athletic director, Coach Z, she does everything. It just really culminated, and that was what we got out of it. It was just a great experience.
Shout out to Megan Ziegelhofer. She's the athletic director over at Mount Dora Christian Academy. She kept you guys cool during that game because that was an afternoon football game.
Oh, yeah.
That was brutal to see you guys have to go through that, but you made it through the game. I mean, halfway through the game, you got guys tearing layers off. She's doing pit crew changes basically with these guys trying to get their layers off. I mean, that must have been something else playing an afternoon football game in Florida. I don't know if you've ever played in a high school afternoon football game.
I think the last time I played on a Saturday afternoon was when I was in 5th grade in little TYFL.
Yeah,
that was a long time ago, but it was a similar feeling. The heat was definitely something, but we fought through it. I think it got to the other team too. I think it got to us. I think even the coaches just standing on the sideline were feeling the heat a little bit, but I'm glad that the team was able to fight through and finally get it done.
Well, your final thoughts being on the football team, what are your final thoughts that you'd like to say to maybe the guys that are going to take the reins next year?
Just keep the standard set. No greater love than this. The man lays down his life for his brother. That's our motto. That's been the motto since Tackett came back. And I think if we just uphold that, they're going to do some great things. There's a lot of really talented young athletes on that team. A lot of guys that I know that want to get the job done. They want to keep it going next year. And I think that if they work hard, they put in the effort, they definitely have a shot to run it back next year.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on the show, Connor.
Certainly.
We really appreciate
Thank you for having me.
And good luck with your soccer season. He's in soccer season right now, so we'll see how that comes out for you and the rest of your school year as well. And good luck in Montana as well. Going up there for biology should be doing some really good things up there. So
thank you.
Can't wait to watch what Connor does. Coming up next, we'll talk to Preston. He's another one of those big time players from Mount Dora Christian Academy. I believe that's Preston Smith coming up next on the Sports Hub. Nobody wants an aging family member who is unable to care for themselves to be home alone. Lake Center Home Care believes the best healing happens when you are most comfortable. The company provides exceptional personal care in the comfort and privacy of your own home. Whether you need skilled nursing, physical therapy, home health aides, or companion services, your loved ones will enjoy peace of mind knowing you're being taken care of and treated with respect and dignity. Lake Center Home Care is locally owned and managed with a team of highly qualified professionals who are passionate about taking care of their neighbors. Call 352-315-0050 or visit golchc.com to learn more about this amazing company. We are back here on the Sports Hub podcast presented by Van Genoway Chevrolet. I'm Kyle Coppola. Thanks for joining us. Right now, we're joined by Mount Dora Christian Academy senior Preston Smith. And Preston, wow, what a season you guys had. You guys go out as champions. We got the championship trophy over here, the 5A championship for the Sunshine State Athletic Conference. Talk about your season. You played on the offensive line and the defensive line. You also got to play with Owen Draves, who's going to play D1 college football for Army. What was that like this year to play with Owen?
It was definitely an experience. We got to work together for the last 3 years. I definitely learned some stuff from him. Learned some stuff from some other O-line coaches over time through the years, and definitely got me better. Yeah,
you guys got better as the season went along, too, your senior year. A lot of injuries this year to you guys, but you were able to persevere through it, and you ended up getting to the championship football game. That championship football game was extremely hot. That was a hot game.
Yes,
I mean, we played at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
In the afternoon. That must have been brutal for you guys. How'd you get through it?
Well, we had all of our accessories on in the first half. But by halftime, we went in the locker room and took it all off and just jerseys, pants, and played the game.
Yeah. These guys were literally just stripping everything they could off. I mean, we had Megan Ziegelhofer. I think she was doing pit crew changes with you guys. We had Xavier Dalton taking his full gear off, getting all his stuff
he
off.
He did. Yep.
Yeah, that was incredible to watch. But you guys, halfway through that game, it was still a close game. But then you guys started to push through. You had Taylor Klein started to score a couple touchdowns for you guys. How was your offensive line able to open up gaps for him during the day?
It was pretty good. Our offensive line coach really pushed us through, told us to keep staying on our blocks, and our offensive coordinator would kind of go tell him what works and what we think we could run. And yeah,
and run you certainly did. You're able to run through and power through because you guys. I mean, Taylor Klein was able to, I believe, score 2 or 3 touchdowns in that game.
Sir.
Xavier Dalton added a defensive touchdown, and you were able to play both sides of the ball. I mean, that must have been brutal, obviously, out there playing both sides and 2 o'clock heat in an October game because during that the lead up to that, it was cold most of the previous week or two, and then you have a game that and you guys come out and it's 90 degrees out there. I think it's field turf you're playing on too.
Yes, sir.
So it's like 98, 100 degrees out there.
It was definitely one of the hottest games that we had, if not the hottest.
Yeah. But you're able to persevere through it, and you're able to win the championship. What did that mean to go out as a senior with a championship for you?
It meant a lot because we've been there for the last. Well, I went there the last 2 years. I didn't play my freshman year, but the last 2 years went there, and each year we saw the seniors get heartbroken over the loss. So I told our team that wasn't going out like that. So
yeah. And you didn't go out like that. You were able to win that championship. Really, it started against Bishop Snyder. I believe Bishop Snyder, that home game that Mount Dora Christian Academy had. You were able to win that game. You were a key factor in that game as well as the offensive line that were able to push through, and you ended up winning like 34-0 in that game
sir.
to even get to the championship game. And then you were able to put up some great numbers in the championship game. What was your favorite memory this year of everybody?
Obviously winning it all was pretty big, but I would say the Bishop Snyder game was something because it was my last home game ever. So it meant a lot. I had to go out there, and I knew I wasn't leaving on a loss.
Yeah, we had a big crowd show up for that one as well. I was able to speak to some of the parents there, and everybody was so excited that Mount Dora Christian Academy had that opportunity, and they've had that opportunity the last couple of years, and you've been a part of that. What was it like working under Coach Tackett this year?
It was definitely something special. It was definitely different from the last 2 years, and in a good way. He always brought the juice, always got the energy, even in those middle of the week Wednesday practices that were 100 degrees and no one wanted to be there.
Yeah.
He made sure that we wanted to be there. So
yeah, definitely. And you got some things lined up. I'm not sure if you can talk about it yet, but you have aspirations to play in college as well.
Yes, sir. I have a few. I'm weighing my options right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Seeing
as are many people, right?
Where I can get my money through academic and athletics. So. Awesome. Well, hopefully you're able to play in college. We hope to see you in college. We're excited for you, Thank you.
as we are for a lot of the players at Mount Dora Christian Academy. Owen Draves going to Army and a lot of other things. So I just want to congratulate you guys on a great championship. A job well done for
Thank you.
And best of luck to you in your future. What are you looking to study in college anyways?
I want to be an athletic trainer.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, definitely a need for that. So thank you so much for coming on to the program, Preston. We appreciate you coming out.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're coming up next. We'll wrap up the Sports Hub next. All right, everybody, we are back here on the Sports Hub podcast. Thank you guys for watching. Want to thank Mount Dora Christian Academy for coming in. That was a lot of fun to talk to everybody, and congratulations on their conference championship. Want to thank our sponsors, Lake Center Home Care, Van Ganaway Chevrolet, Lake Sumter State College, Lasterware, and Auto Owners Insurance. And make sure to check this podcast out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and other streaming sites. And I want to give a huge shout out to Red Apples Media as well for everything they've provided us. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next edition of the Sports Hub podcast.
This has been the Style Sports Hub, presented by Van Ganaway Chevrolet.